Washington is to provide heavy military equipment to the US-allied Syrian Kurds as they prepare to retake the Islamic State stronghold of Raqqa in Syria. During the latest White House briefing, Press Secretary Sean Spicer confirmed the weapon shipment.
I do know that yesterday the President authorized the Department of Defense to equip Kurdish elements of the Syrian Democratic Forces as necessary to ensure a clear victory over ISIS in Raqqa, Syria. We're keenly aware of the security concerns of our coalition partners in Turkey. We want to reassure the people and the government of Turkey that the U.S. is committed to preventing additional security risks and protecting our NATO ally.
Now, previously, the decision was confirmed by both the Pentagon and the U.S. Department of Defense. Now, the matter seems very good on the surface. There's talk of Raqqa being retaken. Now, one of the latest comments we have from U.S. military officials on cooperation with the Kurds at the same time the U.S. is maintaining relationships with the Turkish government comes from General Mattis, speaking in Denmark.
So our intent is to work with the Turks, alongside one another to take Raqqa down, and we are going to sort it out, and we'll figure out how we're going to do it, but we're all committed to it.
Now, there's a history of controversial relations between the United States and Turkey. Turkish President Erdogan considers the Kurdish organizations being supported by the United States in Syria to be terrorists. In the past, he has spoken up and denounced the U.S. for arming and supporting these Kurdish organizations, which he says are terrorist organizations which pose a threat to Turkey's security. This is how Erdogan has discussed the matter in the past.
It was deeply saddening for us that there were U.S. flags on a convoy that carried the rags of the Kurdish organization. This must end. If not, problems in the region will carry on, and the U.S. too will be disturbed.
Seems like a triangle of hate is almost starting to develop. On the one hand, you have the Kurds, who don't totally trust the United States, but are hoping that in the process of getting support from the U.S., they can work toward establishing their independence. Then you have Turkey, which considers the Kurds to be terrorists and extremists, and has voiced frustration with the United States for arming the Kurdish organizations in Syria. And then you have the United States, which is hoping to continue arming the Kurds and continue to work with both the Turkish government as well as these Kurdish organizations. So a lot of confusion developing. Now, as of yet, we don't have an official response from the Turkish government to the announcement about the U.S. arming the Kurds in Syria.
Yeah, a lot of issues at play there, as Caleb was explaining. Let's turn to Harun Armagan, who's a member of the ruling Turkish Justice and Development Party. You're welcome to the programme. Yeah, so first of all, what is Ankara's position on Washington's decision to supply additional equipment to the Kurds in Syria? Are you expecting a strong reaction? Has there been one already?
Well, we have a clear position since the beginning. We have clarified that there is no difference for us between ISIS or PKK or PYD. They both are terrorist organization, and PKK is a terrorist organization that only recognized by Turkey, but it's a NATO or recognized terrorist organization. And PYD have obvious links with PKK. It's only a Syrian branch. Anyone who knows about PKK, terrorist PKK, is that it's clear that they use different names in different countries, and PYD, YP or YPG are just the Syrian branch of the same terrorist organization. And we have made our position clear that there is no such thing as a good terrorist or bad terrorist. Just because PYD is fighting against ISIS, it doesn't make them an illegitimate organization. They are a terrorist organization, and we made that clear to both the US and Russia.
Well, Washington maintains that this is the group that will be able to sort the Islamic State out from Raqqa, don't they? We've also heard a statement from the US Defense Ministry that they hope to cooperate with you, with Turkey, in the battle against terrorism. Is that going to affect your response in any way?
President Erdogan made it clear that we cannot partner up with this terrorist organization, because clearly this is a terrorist organization, and they cooperated with ISIS in Syria before. How can we trust this terrorist organization? Additionally, we have proposed our plans to Russia and United States about Raqqa. We have shown a really good performance in Syria against ISIS. We cleared out quite an area in a short time. Therefore, we have plans for Raqqa that we suggested. But we are clear
Yeah,
that
but
we are
Raqqa is the problem that's been going on for a long time now. That is the area that really needs to be dismantled, isn't it? And the US say that they want to cooperate with Kurdish fighters in Syria to retake that Syrian city. And I put it to you, does Turkey not share the same goal of getting rid of that group? And the best way it's been in the previous number of months was the Kurds fighting that grouping, and now they've got weapons to do it. Is that not something you can get behind to demolish the terrorist group ISIS?
Well, we have to understand that if we are going to be selective when fighting against terrorism, we will never succeed. We will never achieve our goals. If we want to fight against terrorism, we have to fight with all terrorist organizations. When we fight against ISIS, if we leave the other terrorist organization, they will get strengthened and they will be a problem in the future as well. So we have to have a cooperative, a joint work with our partners, both Russia and the United States, fighting against these both terrorist organizations. At the same time, we cannot choose Al-Qaeda, we cannot leave Al-Qaeda on site when we are fighting ISIS. Is it the same thing with PKK or PYD? We cannot leave any terrorist group on site when we are fighting ISIS. We have to do both together. And we made it clear to our allies, both Russia and the United States, and President Erdogan will make a visit to the United States next week. And I'm sure this will be one of the top topics discussing with President Trump as well.
Your side of things has been very clear, hasn't it? Just recently, Turkey bombed Kurdish forces in neighbouring Syria, and we must remember that is a sovereign country. This is Syria. The Syrian government did not invite Ankara into the country, did they? Surely that could be seen as a violation of the country's sovereignty.
No, I completely disagree. So we have a clear rule of engagements regarding to our border with Syria. Our towns in Turkey are actually bombed from Syrian side. We have made our jet and helicopter actually were dropped down with the bombs from Syria previously. So we have made a clear rule of engagement with Syrian border. Remember, that we have over 900 kilometers border with Syria. So, and this country is in civil war in last 5 years, and we have taken 3 million refugees. Of course, we have to protect our land and we have to protect our citizens. Therefore, we cannot allow any terrorist organization to do its activities to grow up in our next door, because it impacts, first of all, the citizens of Turkey.
OK, we really do appreciate you coming on the programme to share your point of view. Harun Armagan from the ruling Turkish Justice and Development Party. Thank you.
Thank you.